Happy birthday to the Nintendo Corporation. Now, I was going to do like a huge history lesson part 1 video, but I decided to skip that. I'm just going to give the history lesson as I'm playing, but the Nintendo Corporation was founded on September 23rd, 1889 as a playing card company over in Tokyo, Japan, and as time went on they got into making toys, and finally in the 1900s, actually I should say around the 1970s, they started getting into video games along with the other video game companies, began developing and publishing games. They had a Nintendo of America that they opened up near Seattle, and they were kind of struggling up there until they came out with Donkey Kong in 1981 on arcade, and then that became really popular, so they went and developed the game, and it was published by Coleco, so they worked together on that, and they released that on the Atari 2600, and eventually when Nintendo came out with their Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985, they brought Donkey Kong on that too, and that's the one we're going to see. I'm going to do a series of Nintendo games. This 1986 is when it was transferred to the Nintendo Entertainment System. But after this game, Nintendo skyrocketed. This was the very first game Mario ever appeared in, although his name was Jumpman on the arcade version. When the game transferred over to the Atari, he got the name Mario. Pretty simple. He's actually named after Mario Segal, who was the warehouse manager, or the warehouse landlord. Well, that was close. I have beaten this game before. I'm actually doing a lot better than I normally do. Kind of stuck me in a no-win situation there. So you lose all that hard work you did. So Mario rescued his girlfriend Pauline. That's pretty much the end of the game, and it just keeps on going. So the next game we're going to see, now I know the date, and this screen here is going to be September 11th, which is actually the birthday for the Atari 2600, but that's because I'm doing these videos ahead of time. By the time I upload this, I'm going to upload it on September 23rd. Okay, so next we're going to see Mario's first starring game, which most people think is Super Mario Brothers, but is actually just Mario Brothers, which was on the arcade. This also came onto the Atari 2600. This is actually on arcade in 1983, where he's supposed to be in a pipe underground. So, this game was a lot more simpler than Super Mario Brothers. Not saying it was easier, but the idea. The jumping in this game is not what you're used to in a Mario game. When you jump up in the air, you can't move to the left or right. If you jump straight up, you're going to come straight back down no matter whether you push the controller to the left or right. Yeah, trying to collect all of them is not easy. I think I've done it like once in my life. So it really doesn't get any more exciting than this. This game I don't think was really that popular, but it wasn't. It did come out on an Atari 2600. It might have came out on Coleco too, because I know Nintendo and Coleco were working together. Coleco was one of Atari's biggest competitors. Oh. This is probably the best. Those things are really annoying. So we're not going to see every Mario game. But we're going to see some of the most popular ones. So we will see Super Mario Brothers. We will see the Japanese version of Super Mario Brothers 2. We will see the final stages of Super Mario Brothers 2, the American version. Final level for Super Mario 3, Super Mario World, and Super Mario 64. Oh, that was nasty. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this game, because we're not really seeing anything more than what, just the same old stuff, just repeating. So now we're going to be seeing Super Mario Brothers, which came out on the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985. See, now back in the 80s, the video gaming market suffered a crash in 1983, and that was because video games started getting popular right around 1977 after the Atari 2600 came out with changeable cartridges, and they had a lot of interesting games that a lot of people played, similar to like what you've seen in the arcade games. They had Pac-Man, although the Atari version of Pac-Man flopped, but pretty much more than the average Pong, which was before the Atari 2600. So video games started getting so popular that other video game companies started competing. You had like some of the guys left the Atari company to create Activision, a third-party video game developer. They were making games without Atari's consent, and I guess Atari really didn't have any copyright control over it, so you had all these other companies doing it. They were mass producing tons of games, and the video game market ended up crashing in 1983 in North America. So Nintendo ended up releasing the Famicom in Japan in 1983. It had quite a bit of success, so they pretty much made a new version of the Famicom, just redesigned it and called it the Nintendo Entertainment System, releasing it to the United States in 1985. And here's one of the most popular games for the Nintendo is Super Mario Brothers, because when the Nintendo first came out, this game came packaged with the system. So anyone who bought a Nintendo also got this game. I'm going to do a full playthrough as far as I can get. I've only beaten this game once in my life, so I'm not really expecting to beat it in this video. I usually end up getting as far as 8-3 and 8-4 and dying, but I'm going to use the warp pipes, which I don't usually do. I think everyone knows basics of Mario, but if not, just trying to make it to the end of every level. Mushrooms make you throw. You got these fire flowers, which allows Mario to shoot fireballs. You collect coins. You get 100 coins. You get an extra life. I forgot to get my star, but oh well. See, this game really doesn't have much variety. I mean, all the levels eventually start seeming repetitive, but back at the time, this was a pretty big step in video gaming. I mean, they didn't really have the... You didn't see too many games where the background actually scrolled. I mean, you saw like other platformer games like Pitfall, but in that game, when you reach the end of the stage, or the end of the screen, it's changed to a different screen. the very first Nintendo game I have ever played. Probably a first for a lot of people. Oh, that was close. So, I usually never take the warp pipes, but since I've already done this game on my channel so many times, why not? Because the other times I did it, I skipped the warp pipes. So we probably won't even see me face Bowser in this game. Those Spinies are, you can't jump on them, you can only kill them with fireballs. This game was released on October 18th. Or, no, the video game system Nintendo was released on October 18th, 1985. The game was released in the year 1985, not sure the date. Oh, that was just nasty. So I'm going to go to Warp World 8. It would be something if I beat this game for the first time. YouTube channel first time. Doing a video for the Nintendo Corporation. I beat this game for the first time in my life April 19th. This year. Oh, that was just gross. I guess I did beat it using the Game Genie, but I did that on my YouTube channel, but I really don't count that as beating it, because it's just not the same when you use a cheating device. See, it's mistakes like that I always make that why I usually never beat the game. And I'm not the type of person who could just keep playing and playing and playing. I'm very impatient. I get sick of seeing the same repetitive stuff over and over again, so I end up quitting. that managed to go through me. I don't remember that stuff happening. This next level 8-2, I seem to kind of get a pattern down in it because I play it so much and die all the time in it. I seem to play this level more than any of them. I know exactly where to stand, like right there. Wait for him to throw that spiny. I don't remember him ever returning though. This is usually the level I always finish on every time I play this game. That's why I never get that extra life up there. Because otherwise I'd just be seeing the same level over and over again. And when you're standing right on these cannons, right next to them, they won't shoot. This is the one I always have a hard time with. I can never remember, I mean, exactly how I get over those. And you always have to start over at the very beginning. That's why I'm not really getting too mad at this game, because I'd never expect to pass this level. Oops. So that was Super Mario Brothers. That's how far I usually get. Although I have passed the game once in my life. Twice if you count the time I cheated with the Game Genie. So then, in Japan, a year later, 1986, the Nintendo Corporation came out with a new game, Super Mario Bros. 2. Was the sequel to the first game. But they didn't like it in Japan. They thought it was too hard and too similar to the first game. So they decided not to release it to the rest of the world. And I think in this game I've only gotten to World 2 in it. Exact same music. They had that brake sound when you stop. Sounds like car brakes. That's something new they added to the game that wasn't in the first game. That's a bad mushroom. You get that mushroom and hurt you. That was kind of cool. Whoa. The ground's different in this game too, so there were some slight differences. But the music, the characters are all pretty much identical. Now, it looks like you can probably swim in that, but you can't. That was nasty. You know, there's probably a warp pipe up here. I missed it. If there was. Those bloopers there, you can actually jump on them here. In the first game, you only saw those in water. I believe they go away if you wait long enough. Whoops. How did that happen? That's the first time I've ever seen that happen in my life. I ran into a shell that I kicked. I mean, I've seen it hit something and bounce back and hit me, but... Whoa. Yeah, this is definitely the hardest Mario game out of everyone I've played. Not sure if we'll even see Bowser in this game, because I probably won't even make it to the end of this level. Okay, they put a fire flower where you can't reach it. That really made sense. Oh. That was Super Mario Bros. 2, the Japanese version. Got as far as World 1-4. It's no wonder why it wasn't released in the United States. So anyways, Japan took another game in 1987 called Doki Doki Panic. They changed the characters around to Mario characters, and they made a few other minor changes. And were released to the United States of America as Super Mario Bros. 2. Now I'm not going to do a full playthrough of that game. I'm just going to play the final level, because I already went and did this before, so it'd be set up exactly where I wanted it. If you want to see the full video, I've already uploaded it on my channel a couple times. You get to pick your character in this game. I always pick Toad. World 7-2, the last level of this game. The hardest part of this level is this part right here. Got 28 lives, so... Are you kidding me? See, this is the hardest part of this level. Once you pass this part, it's really easy. It's hard to go from one Mario game to playing another one. Because the jumping and controls are just slightly different. Okay, once you get inside this castle, it's all pretty easy. It's just a matter of knowing where to go, but I play this game so much. Instead of Bowser in this game, you're fighting against Wart. You're trying to save a race of characters called Subcons. Hold down long enough and you get to turn white and flashy and you can jump higher. In this game, you pick up a potion and you get an extra mushroom. Now I got those 3 things on the side of the screen that represents my health, so you can get your health meter as high as 4 dots per level, although there are some levels that you can only have 3. You start out with 2 either way, so you'll find either 1 or 2 mushrooms in each level. 2 in most of them. I think there's maybe only like 2 levels that will have only 1 mushroom. By the way, I'm getting a new tattoo tomorrow, the outline, and it's going to be this game. I got Super Mario Bros. 3 tattooed on my back. I got Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest tattooed next to it. This is going to be the next one. I plan on filling up my whole back with Nintendo games. I'll actually show a picture of what I got done so far at the end of the video. Oh. What was I thinking? You collect 6 cherries, you get a star. A star is something that I don't think was in the Doki Doki Panic game. I believe they just added that to Super Mario Brothers. Or if it wasn't the Doki Doki Panic game, at least they didn't have the same music, because the music when you get the star is the same as Super Mario Brothers music. Here's where you get your other mushroom in this level. Now you can pick up coins in each level, and at the end of the level, you get to do a slot machine where you can win extra lives, but we won't be able to see that since we're playing the very last level. See, I always wondered my whole life why this game was so different than all the other Mario games until I found out the story behind Doki Doki Panic. This game wasn't actually designed to be a Mario game. That's why you don't see the Koopas. Main boss isn't Bowser. Usually that star is deep inside the wall where you can't get to it. After you kill like, I think it's 11 or 12 bad guys, you get a heart. So if I get hit and I lose one of those pellets on the left side of the screen, that heart will fill it up. See, I pretty much play this game the same, exact same way every time I play it. And it's weird seeing someone else play the game and they struggle on certain levels. And it's like most of just about everything in this game it's like second nature to me. See, I need that key. I gotta hit Birdo there 3 times with an egg. You pick up this key, Phantom up there comes alive and chases after me. Once you drop the key, he leaves you alone. Then you pick it back up. The longer you hold it, he'll eventually come back. There he is again. Now I set that there so I could do this trick. Hit him twice. You gotta hit him 3 times. Here's the final boss, Wart. You just gotta catch these veggies, avoid the bubbles, and hit him when his mouth's open 6 times. There's 2. There's 3. 4. 5. 6. Here's the ending. Here's the Super Mario Brothers 2 ending. We're going to go ahead and see the ending of all 3 of the games. Or actually 4 games after the last one. I'm currently trying to find the picture on my computer of my Mario tattoo and Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. Here's all the characters in the game. Unfortunately, in this video, we didn't see quite a few of them. Yeah, back during this time in 1988, Nintendo was their only competitor was Sega, and Sega wasn't very popular at the time. They had the Sega Master System out, and the Nintendo Entertainment System sold 61 million units. The Sega Master System only sold 13 million. It wasn't until 1989 when Sega came out with their 16-bit console, the Sega Genesis, and that was real popular, sold 40 million. But Nintendo didn't seem to be in a hurry to create a 16-bit console, because shortly between the Genesis came out, they had the Nintendo Game Boy handheld console, which was one of their biggest selling consoles up until the Nintendo DS, which wasn't until 2004. But anyway, and then after the Game Boy, they were also had Super Mario Bros. 3 was already released in Japan in 1988. They were waiting until 1990 to release that in America, so Nintendo had a lot going for them. So even though Sega Genesis was new and had improved graphics, Nintendo was still way ahead of the game. We're going to move on to Super Mario Bros. 3, the #1 selling video game in video gaming history as far as gross sales for individual games. See, now Super Mario Brothers was considered, the original Super Mario Brothers was considered one of the biggest selling games of all time, but that was packaged with the Nintendo. People weren't paying money for the game, they were paying for the system, and the game happened to come with it for free. And the same with the Wii Sports game on the Wii, on the Nintendo Wii. That at one time surpassed Super Mario Brothers. But as far as games that were sold just for the game itself, Super Mario Bros. 3 is the all-time leading game. At least to my knowledge, unless something passed it since then, but I don't think anything has. Okay, so here we are, the final level of Super Mario Bros. 3. Now all these items here I collected on my journey throughout, and I like to use this item in the final castle. See, in this game you can run and you can fly as long as you got the tail. Whoops. See, you notice when I stop, it does the same thing with the brakes. Okay, I've never had that happen before, where I've missed it. There we go. Got 99 lives. It's easy to get up to 99 lives in this game though. You can't get any more than 99 lives in this game, but yeah, you get a good run and you can fly for a short period of time as long as you got the raccoon tail. You stand on these too long and they fall. See, this is why I like the suit, because you can avoid his fireballs. I just want to keep standing in the same spots so he breaks all those bricks and falls. I also did a full playthrough of this game too, a couple times. I actually rank this as my #1 favorite Nintendo game. I rank Super Mario Bros. 2 as, I think, my 3rd or 4th favorite. So we got to see Bowser for the first time in this video. I think we're going to end up doing a second video. Shigeru Miyamoto is the one who developed Mario. He also designed Donkey Kong and Link from The Legend of Zelda. And in 1991, Nintendo finally released their 16-bit Super Nintendo to compete with Sega's Genesis. Sega Genesis, as I mentioned, sold 40 million. The Super Nintendo sold 48 million. 49 million. And eventually Sega tried all these hardware add-ons like the 32X and the Sega CD, whereas the Super Nintendo, all they did was design an FX chip and stick it in their games. Okay, my battery light is already flashing, so I'm going to go ahead and stop right there with part 1, and in part 2 we're going to be seeing Super Mario World's final level and Super Mario 64's final level. So, hope you're enjoying my happy birthday tribute to the Nintendo Corporation, and see you in the next video.